I'm going to talk about the uncontacted tribes or isolated tribes of Sentinel Island, the Sentinelese. They were in the news recently because a Christian person wanted to go there allegedly to spread Christianity. Mercenary. Is it? No, mercenary? That's not the right word. So they killed somebody. Now, there is a man, I believe his name is Daniel, who lived with these people for a year. He was like an Australian guy, and I believe his friend also lived with them. And he learned the language, and they spoke with each other. And I'm going to tell you what I learned from watching the videos that he produced. And he's visited more than once. These people build their own houses up in the trees, and the houses, they're huge. They're huge houses. And there's no walls. There's the floor and the thatch roof. They don't last long. They last for a few years, and then they have to rebuild it. They have their family, and there's other tribes on the island that they occasionally meet with. And there was an incident where somebody was cheating with the wife of somebody else or something like that. So the other tribe, by their beliefs, had the right to kill him, and they did. And that was it. And they were all angry about what had happened, but they had no choice because the other guy had the right to kill. The other tribe had the right to kill this guy for cheating on somebody or something like that. They have money, which is dog teeth or canine teeth. That's their money system. So if you want to get married, you have to get all the canine teeth that you have, and you have to give it to somebody, I don't know who. They only eat grubs and some sort of plant product, cellulose, no, not cellulose, some sort of plant. And it takes a long time to make. They believe in evil spirits and that evil spirits can possess people, and there's an accusation that a young boy in one of the tribes had that evil spirit, even though he's an adult now. It's called sanguine or something like that. There was a guy who was with his wife, and they said, "We don't love each other. We're just together for convenience." And there weren't that many couples. There's like 5 or 6 couples in the tribe. And I don't remember seeing any kids. Maybe there were. And they're always naked, so you see everything. And they may have alterations to their face because, I'm turned off by that. I don't like to look at piercings, like maybe a bone through the nose or something. They had stuff like that. They would do an event once every couple of years where they invite everybody and they serve food. But when they do this event, they don't mix, they don't socialize. Everyone stays with their own family, and they address the issue about the sanguine, the boy who was a demon. They said, "I can assure you he's not a demon," or whatever. And in the tradition, if everyone's happy, they start a fire. So what they have is they have something hanging all around the place, and at some point they go and they let it on fire. And they have to build that building just for the event. Now, if you don't hold the event, everybody gets offended. So when it's your turn, you got to hold the event. And maybe it's not a set schedule, but at some point people start saying, "We want you to hold this event." And when people showed up at the event, they were very tense. It's not like they were all happy to be there. They all show up. A whole tribe just shows up in fighting formation. They sit down. They do their chants and scream and yell like they're going to fight. And then they just mind their own business and eat. And I guess it's if the food is served well, then they're happy or something like that. And then the partying begins. And then that's when people really start socializing. One of the comments that one of the guys made was, "How lucky you are to come from a society where you're never hungry." This guy was a really good-looking guy. They're African. It's an island near India, and it's owned by India, and the proximity is of India, but these people are African, which is unusual. So you can read about the history on your own. It's not normal. The island, I believe, is half Sentinelese and half inhabited. You're not allowed to go there. I don't know how this guy Daniel was able to get there. You're prohibited. So he learned their language. They joke around all the time. One of the things the guy said, he said, "Oh, you know, our women are ugly. The other tribe, they all have beautiful women." And the woman said, "Well, that's because our men are stupid, and beautiful women don't want stupid men." So, you know, they were always joking around, and it was a lot of fun. They did not have any Western tools, so if they had to cook something, they had some sort of a weird setup. They didn't have like a steel pot. I don't know how they started the fires. I don't think I saw a single Western tool. So they'd be using a rock to beat something, to crush something. Maybe Daniel had brought them some things that I really don't remember. They live far apart, so the tribes are like you have to walk all day or maybe longer to find the other tribe, and you could easily get lost. It's a thick jungle forest. I don't recall. Okay, so there's a video of them being on the beach, jumping up and down, throwing arrows and stuff like that. That's the tribe. They have a reputation for being hostile. They don't like outsiders going there, but obviously they let these two Australian guys go there. There were a lot of insects, I seem to recall. That was one of the issues that might have come up. Each couple has their own house up in the trees, and it was really high up, and they can climb anything. And they have a lot of skills. Like Daniel would say things like, these guys are really good trackers. If they want to go out and find a wild pig, they're coming home with a wild pig. And he was amazed, like he couldn't keep up with them going through the forest. And he said they will sneak up on you, no problem. And they're always barefoot. And they'll walk through the forest barefoot, a thick forest that he didn't like walking through. And they had this look on their eyes. If you've ever had a cat and you know what cats are like when they see prey, you know, they were very serious about what they were doing. So I guess their daily life is mostly going to be about eating food. And like I said, there were only, I think, 2 food items that they would eat, one of which they ate every day, which was and the other one was an occasional food, if maybe if they were lucky to get it. Was there anything else interesting? Okay, so he showed them like a video camera and how it worked, and you know, and they'd see themselves and laugh and smile. Maybe he brought a mirror with them. But most people, if you're around water, you have an idea of what you look like. Okay, so I think I covered all the things that I can remember, and maybe he had a flashlight. Look up Sentinelese, which is going to be spelled Sentenese or Sentinese, or Sentinel Island, which is Sentinel Island.